Alright, story time again. Another light read, youth read. Lady was a registered Shetland pony, a retiree from more than a decade earlier when there was money to be made in the breeding and selling of the then hugely popular shaggy little ponies. I was always told the first time I stood erect, I'd crawled over and hoisted myself upright between her rear legs using her tail. There is indeed a picture of me wearing nothing but three-corner pants, standing twixt her legs, clutching her tail. Whether said photo was the original big moment or later staged, I don't know for certain. Such, though, is the nature of the Shetland pony, calm, reliable, and as a rule, very intelligent creatures. Lady was retired from any sense of active duty once she had decided to participate in no more than the occasional bit of yard duty. Yard duty consisted of, on rare occasion, being put to use carrying some wee children on ponies' rides around the house yard. She dutifully produced each year, without any assistance or fanfare, a foal or a colt sired by her equally old breeding partner, Star. Lady was jet black and Star was a dappled gray. It seems, as I recall, the foals or the colts took the coloring of each parent on alternate years. This particular year's foal was a jet black filly mother named Penelope. My job was to halter train and later saddle break Lady's colts as well as any others, as varied from numbers from one year to another. Penelope was in the early stages of halter training on the fateful day this story takes place. Penelope had sold to a couple who lived just a quarter mile up the road, who had a mare boarded with us that belonged to the mother, Dorothy. Penelope was Danny's pony. Dorothy's two young lads were Danny, 5 years old, and Sean, about 3. Penelope was Danny's pony, and I was training him at the same time as the colt. Danny would come strutting in, proud as punch, bedeckled in a fringed suede cowboy coat, cowboy hat, and a chrome six-shooter on both hips. Mother Dorothy and Sean would lounge in the shade, along with Lady, who'd seen enough of her colts halter trained as to be absolutely unconcerned as to the process. The colt and Danny were both to the point where I didn't need to be right close at hand, and were walking about the house yard, and I thought I'd join young Sean and the ladies in the cool respite of the shade for a bit. I had just sat down and was tilting back a cold can of ginger ale when in the yard came Dorothy's big dog, Barry. Barry was a big, hairy, newfie black lab cross, as harmless and gentle as they come. He had escaped his confines at home and was eager to join our activities. Penelope's prey instincts kicked in. Eyes rolling, she bolted off, squealing in panic. Danny clung valiantly to her halter, but was no match for the foal and was soon left in the dust. Pandemonium ensued. Danny was wailing in the gravel on the drive. Sean wailed in sympathy or confusion, or some mixture of both. Penelope dashed wildly about the yard, and Barry chased after her, tongue lolling, delighted he'd had the good fortune to join in such revelry. What Barry was unaware of was Lady was hot on his heels, and it was plain she was in no mood. This was good sport. I ran for the end of the drive, yelling, "Yeah, Ma, I'll cover the road." The women scooped up the children, and the colt, the dog, and the mare tore around the yard. All jet black, and each one just that much bigger than the next, they streaked around the farmhouse and yard. If Barry had looked back and seen Lady, I'm sure he would have had a change in plan, but he wasn't aware of what fury was in pursuit, and gleefully frolicked after the panic-stricken colt. Lady's ears were pinned back, teeth bared. She had a look in her eye of murderous intent that was frightful to behold. The women having ensconced the young'uns safely, directions were yelled back and forth, and between the three of us we managed to confine the racing black blur to just the backyard. Penelope, in a blind panic, ran into a corner formed by the small barn and a big length of plank fence. Barry was skidding to a halt, tongue still lolling about. Lady didn't slow her stride in the least. Poor Barry didn't know what hit him. 400-odd pounds of enraged fury hit him at a full gallop. Her front hooves hit his hindquarters, and she had the back of his neck in her teeth. The mass of Lady and Barry displaced the colt so much I thought she was going to fly clean over the fence. I dashed madly towards the melee. Barry screamed in terror and pain as Lady's teeth and hoofs slashed viciously. I heard Mum yell, "No, Scott," but at 12 years of age, you're not aware of your own mortality.